Well, I guess we'll look at the tie rod end I'm replacing here. See, the cup's all gone, and it's pretty loose there actually. The original ones actually had a Zerk on each end. There's another one right down there, but this guy's pretty loose. Got these clamps on the end. The rod is split with threads inside. Clamp on the end to cinch it down once you get it adjusted, and one end's a left hand thread, one end's a right hand thread. So first thing I'll do is just clean the ends up here a little bit, get the dirt and crap off of there, and get the clamps loose, and then figure out my two ends, which is left hand, which is right hand. I will not unscrew the ends. First thing I'm going to do is measure from the center of the top at each end, center to center on the other end, so I know how long this thing's supposed to be. That way it'll be reasonably close. When I put it together, I can set the toe later if I have an issue, but just to get it close for reinstallation, that's what I'll do. But first I got to clean it up a little bit. Alright, a quickie on how I'm going to go about cleaning these since I'm lazy. Yeah, it's all dried, crusty dirt and stuff, so I'm just going to give it a few smacks to start with. Not hurting it any. And that'll clean off a lot of the loose goobers. Got crap down in there. Pick that shit out of there. Cool. And it's got like old grease and dirt caked. This thing was greased in its life, but it's had a long life. This truck is 54 years old. So, yeah, it deserves to have a little bit of issue. I guess it has been on the road most of its life, however. Originally an Oregon car, from what I understand. Just the history I've been told on it. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll measure center to center, so I know my length when I put it back together, and they're opposite directions, so that's cool. Okay. Measure this guy. Center to center, we're going to be... I use the 1 inch mark on my tape because the ends of these are always floppy and not real accurate. So anyway, 1 inch to the center there is reads 22 1/4, so we're looking at 21 1/4. Subtract my inch off the end there. Alright, well, I can't use these new tie rod ends the way they are. Go figure. It says Germany on the box. What's it say on this? Oh, it says Germany here too. But what we got, if you can see the ends, the old one's tapered and the new one's not. So I dead end on this flat end on the threads. I run out. So I'm going to have to lose the threads on just the last 3 or 4 threads here on both of them so I can get my adjustment out of them. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so yeah, I went ahead and ground these guys off a little bit. And I think they'll start, so I'm going to go ahead and try them. If it's not enough, I'll hit them again. That appears like it. what a pain. Buy new parts and I don't fit. What's up with that? Unless I'm supposed to buy a new tie rod as well. Come on now. Give me a break. Okay, that's pretty much dead-ended. So I'll make it so they're opposite direction here. Pretty close, and see what we end up with. Center to center. Okay. So that got me closer. But still not close enough. So guess I'll hit them both again. We'll get it right. Okay, well it took me like 4 tries, taking a little bit off, but here we go. And it's the same distance as what I had when I started. So I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in there. And yeah, call it good. So that worked out good, but I'm exactly my 21 1/4 here that I needed to be. So I'll go ahead and put this guy on. It's got some new pretty lock nuts. The original ones were castle style with a little cotter pin, but I'll put the lock nuts on there and call it good. Alright, well I guess I'll let you watch me struggle with this business. Going to change the shock here. Anyway, this bottom mount, that collar you see there actually came out of the shock, just tore out of the rubber. It's rusted to the mount here. So I got to get that little guy off of there. Threw a little bit of marble on both sides. I've smacked directly on the end of it a few times. No luck. So I'll see if I can set you up and maybe you can see how I'm going to do this. I don't know. Let's see if I can find a spot. Alrighty. Get that out of the way. And I guess you can see this thing here. Anyway, so the plan, being as I don't feel like getting the heat out and everything, is use one of these chisels that my dad sharpened for me once upon a time, that day of the video. Haven't used it since, so it's like razor. Anyway, what I'm trying to do is just get on one edge and hit it with the chisel down, and theoretically if I hit it on one side I may have to go to the other side. That should spread that collar enough to break it loose. So see if I can do this. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing or not, but I'll try to do it here. Yeah, this chisel is very, very sharp. So hopefully, if I get from one end to the other in a nice line, I can't really hit it very hard from this angle, but I can feel I'm putting a little bit of a divot in it, so hopefully. Alright, so that's one side. And I'm trying to do this and not get in the way of the camera. I'm not hitting my thumb, so I'll hit it from this side as well. It's the front edge, back edge, alright. Felt like I got it pretty good, I can't tell. So I got a bit of a divot. Let me go at an angle and see if it'll rotate. Not yet. Anyway, theoretically you get it on both sides and it should spread that collar. don't want to break that mount, then I'm into trailing arm issues. There she went. Nice. Okay, so that rotated just slightly. And if I rotate it a few times, hopefully my marvel will get in there. And loosen it up a little bit. If I pull at the same time, I ought to be able to get this off of here. Anyway, that shock that came off there is, you know, it's an old school oil shock, and it's not bagged out all the way, but it's not that strong. So when I put my gas adjust on here, this thing will ride more like a truck, which is kind of what I'm looking for. Anyway, there it is. Well, it's quite a while later, and I got my gas adjust in there. It's not the Old Ugly that I was going to put in, because the Old Ugly is way too long. It's for a different application, but I happen to have a set of new ones that fit this application, so there's a new one. Got my tie rod in and tight. I have not adjusted it yet. I've left the locking deals loose here, and once I get it all back together and on the ground, I'll go ahead and set the toe. It turns out the passenger side is a fixed length tie rod. I don't know if we can see. Probably not. Anyway, I think I'm pointed the right way. But it's a fixed length, so this is the adjustment right here. I put it back where it was. And what else have I done? I checked the steering dampener right there, and it's got substantial resistance both directions, so I'm going to go with it. Just got to finish with the bearings and put this wheel on here, and this side will be ready to drop back on the ground. So now I have to repeat the process on the other side, except hopefully the grease zerk isn't gone, but actually I've checked, they're all in place, so good to go over there. And the tie rod's ends are not too bad on that side. It's been replaced at some point in its life, so I'll probably go with those for time being. But yeah, shock and brakes and stuff on the other side. But I think I'm done with this business for today, so yeah, the 26th out here. Getting dark, which doesn't mean much. It gets dark earlier, but it's time to eat. Well, it's Saturday the 27th out here. Nice sunny day. It's finally warming up. It was a little bit chilly this morning. Anyway, last night I finally finished up this little business on this side. Spins good, no click. I have an idea the clicking sound was the speedometer cable that was in there, so scratched around and hanging on the wall. I got a cable, even rolled up, spinning one end, it spins freely all the way around, so yeah, anyway, I don't know if it's a bus or not, but it appears to be plenty long enough, so I might put this guy in later, but for now, it's time for round 2, and that'd be this side. So I'm going to tear this side apart and put brakes on it, and hopefully there's no unforeseen issues with it. Put the new shock on this side, and yeah, it should be ready to drop on the ground, and throw some brake fluid at it and see how the brakes work. Well, about a half an hour later, and yeah, we got our stuff all put on there, and I'll go ahead and replace that shock with the new one and put it back together, grease it up. I'm going to adjust the link and the link pins while I'm in here, so yeah, and then I'll grease it all up. Well, it was all going too smoothly. King and links are adjusted, everything's good there. The link pins, I can't adjust the king pins, but anyway, we got the same shock mount business going on right there. The sleeve for the shock is still on the mount, and it's rusted there in place, so I'll have to use my chisel method and get that thing off of there, and I can put my new shock on here, pack my bearings and put my wheel back. And all will be good. And then I can commence to tightening brake lines and bleeding and all that kind of good stuff. Well, it's evening now, and brakes are all back together and everything, and fluid in it, and bled is, you know, as good as it gets. I have an issue, and not 100% sure why yet, but feels like I've got air in the pedal here in the system. When I push her down, it's, you know, the brakes stop and everything, but I'm way too low and it feels kind of like a sponge, so I'm thinking I still got air in the line somewhere. Hopefully that's all it is. If it's not that, it's possible that the drums are oversized and the shoes don't fit properly at this point, and they got to wear down till they fit better, or I got to replace my drums. But anyway, so I'm calling it brakes done badly, but I'm not going to drive it. So thanks for watching.